Then we got to start the fun stuff, as if cat wasn't fun enough. It was called FUMEP, and it was something that Dr. Blumenshine it was specific for something he had done, and it was for the breast cancer patients that if you were beyond stage 1 or stage 2, you got the privilege of going through the FUMEP treatments. It was 5-FU, mitomycin, VP16, and cisplatin. And I don't even like talking about it because probably to this day, it was the worst thing I've ever been through. I would go on a Monday and I would, honestly, I'm not sure. I do know I went on a Monday and I know I finished it on a Thursday. I'm not sure if I went every single day or if I went and got hooked up and came back, but I know that when I started, I was already pretty beat down. I'd had 6 treatments, which is a lot of those chemotherapies. And remember, the Red Devil, the adriamycin, doxorubicin, I was having infused over 4 days instead of just having it one day. So I was pretty beat up. And I went that first day and they started it, and I just know the days that I would have to go back, I was so sick, and it just seemed like nothing helped. I just cannot tell you how sick I was. And, I would get sick at the cancer center, and you feel so bad because this cancer center they didn't have private rooms. They had like half walls or the walls, but you could kind of see around them. And there was 4 people in each place, and you had curtains you could pull. But, we're all there. We're all doing chemotherapy. For the most of us, for the most part, none of us feel good. And my sickness would hit so fast that I didn't even have time to tell anybody. I would just start throwing up. And, even at a cancer center, they give you those little bitty bowls. I'm like, that does not help anything. Now they have the nice blue bags that are awesome, but you feel so bad because you're getting sick and you think, oh my gosh, I hope I'm not making these other people sick. But I'm going to tell you, I guess because I was so young compared to everybody else there, and both times that I did this, my mom was with me, both of my FUMEPs. I was supposed to do 3, and I'll tell you that in a minute, but both times my mom was with me, and she stuck pretty close during that. And that's when I remember hearing her tell somebody they're going to kill my daughter. But my mom was there, and the people there, they were trying to help my mom. They're hooked up to chemotherapy, and they're trying to help. When I would get sick, they were trying to help her and help me get cleaned up. And then, of course, the nurses were incredible. But you just feel so guilty on top of feeling so bad. And you just prayed you got home. You didn't have to stop on the side of the road to, it was bad. And after my second one, I saw Dr. Blumenshine, and I told him, I said, look, if you tell me that if I don't do a third one, that it is really going to risk my life, then I'll do a third one. But I don't know. And he told me before I could even finish, he said, I don't think you can do a third one. He said, I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. And he said, we have a clinical trial that we want to put you in that's for the Herceptin drug that is for HER2 positive. And we're having good luck with it. It has some minor side effects, but not nearly what you are having right now. And he said, I want you strong enough for that because you are a strong HER2. I think it was a grade 3, a strong HER2 positive. And we're so grateful that we have this drug and we were able to get into this clinical trial. And I mean, truly, that was probably the drug that was going to save my life, and along with everything else. And so he told me, he said, I don't know if you could do another one, which kind of made me mad because I'm tough. I can do anything. But let me tell you, that about killed me. And I was really glad when it was over. I also had a pretty serious talk with Don and told him, I don't know if I'll feel differently in a year, but if this comes back, I don't think I can fight it again. The treatment was so much. And there were days that I would lay on the couch and think I'd rather be dead than this. And that's not me. If you know, a lot of people watching this may not know me, but I have a strong will to live, and I am outgoing and just full of life, and truly, and do give my everything to anything that I do. And so for me to say that was a really big deal. I just thought, if this is how I'm going to have to live, there's no point. And at least with this first round, I saw an ending. I saw, okay, I'm going to be able to finish this treatment, and hopefully it's all gone. We've done the surgery, I've done all the tests, I've done all the chemotherapy, I'm doing this Herceptin, and I was going to do 35 rounds of radiation, and you see an ending to it. I would think about people who had chronic disease like ALS, that there's no ending to that. I mean, there's an ending, but you're dead. Or people who have chronic illnesses like multiple sclerosis. And you just, that goes on and on. At least with me, I had an ending, whether it be good or bad, it was going to end. And so I started my Herceptin, and they wanted me to do 12 treatments. I got through 7, and the side effects were causing me such incredible pain that no pain medicine was touching it. It was one of the super rare side effects. Of course, I was going to get it. And so I got through 7 of them, and then just couldn't do any more. I couldn't function, couldn't get out of the bed. The pain was unbelievable. And then I started my radiation.